my understanding in my 58 years of life, and this is December will be 31 years of marriage. The way I see it is a woman has three key components to her life. The biggest and the most important in my books is you, your person. Who you are is the core of everything else that you are. You were born and named as you. You were nurtured, and your gifts were nurtured by your parents or through your education and all of that. And in that process, you had your own vision, you had your own ambition, you had things you wanted to do, you had vision of life the way you saw it, where you wanted to go, what you would like to achieve, the impact you would like to leave, your dreams, your aspirations. That's you. And that part of you will never, ever go away. Now, along the path at a stage of your life, and it's different for all of us. Some people are married very early, some marry a little later. You decide to pick the man that would be your husband. And at that point, you pick up the ball of being a wife. The ball of being a wife is only added to who you are as a person. He doesn't take or change, or it shouldn't take or change who you are as a person. That process of deciding who to marry should reflect on the person that you are. You should make the choice of your husband with the understanding of what the core of you represents, and you choose a husband that, as you're led by God and your understanding, is best suited for the vision that you have been given, for the person that you are, and the husband that has the capacity to add value, to help to build, to help to nurture, to help to support the fulfillment of the core of who you are. Now, in that process, at different stages for all of us, we can be gifted to become mothers. In becoming a mother, and it's different times for different people. Some of us become mothers right off the track. Some wait so many years along the path. It doesn't change who we are. Shouldn't change who we are, which is why the core is important. Because imagine if you are waiting for the husband or waiting for the child or children to come. If there is no meaning to your core, then what are you doing in between? Your life continues and should be an expression of the gifts of God, the calling of God, the opportunities that God lays along your path, that your gifts are suited for, that you're then able to express yourself in. And when you become a mother and you become a wife, both work together to enhance the substance of your person. It must never diminish. Yes, it can challenge it, because sometimes mixing the balls, becomes a new challenge for us. But as women, we're already wired to be able to work out how that works. And in the world of today, even more than ever, there are a lot of systems around us that we can apply to ensuring that we're able to sustainably and successfully express ourselves, and yet express ourselves as a husband, as a wife, and as a mother. So the making of a great woman for each and every one of us follows a different process, but it should lead to the manifestation of the greatness that is within us as individuals. So, there are three balls. The ball of you, core, because it's only if you work that your role as a wife can work successfully and sustainably. It's only if you work that your role as a mother can work successfully and sustainably. I have seen too many miserable women who have lived lives giving up so much to focus just on one subset of who they are. And usually they give up the core and try to function as a wife excessively or as a mother excessively. And because the core isn't at its best or working sustainably, when children have grown, and they grow so quickly these days, from about 10, teenage, to them going to university, they really aren't so dependent on you. They might need your money and need some things from you, but they're not as dependent on you in a consuming way that your yearnings and your desire for self-expression will be gone. Now, some women really naturally only desire to be a wife and a mother. And if that's what God has called you to be a housewife who supports her husband in every way and her children in every way, you will have full and total satisfaction doing that. And you will know that that is your calling. You will be fulfilled because there will be enough to occupy you in your specific circumstance. So the question for each and every one of us is, don't define your greatness by another's. Mother Teresa didn't have any children, not one of her own. I don't even remember that there's any record that she got married. Remember, she was a nun, so she never got married. But she raised so many children and supported so many people, men and women, and left a legacy of empathy and love, and built a generation of people to continue her work after her. Yet, she never did business to raise the money that was necessary for that support. But as she sowed her love and compassion in the way she felt that the Lord had called her to, starting at a time that she was not known or was it popular, but sowing the seed of the gift that she had been given. She had been given an extraordinary gift and capacity to love the unlovable, to be comfortable in the most uncomfortable place, to give to lives that nobody else cared about. And as she did that sacrificially, over time, the Lord brought recognition to that work and raised people from far and wide across the world to gather their resources for the work that she did. And even when she went home, that work continues because she had established an institution of kindness and love that continues to be supported by the great and the mighty, the small and the big, across the world. That's her legacy. She didn't have children. She didn't marry. But is she a woman of greatness? Yes. For all times, her story will be told. That's one side. So there will be women who are married, who have husbands, who have children, but who will also live their lives and have the three work together. The Bible says we should work out our own salvation, which means we should humbly seek to make the things work for us. And why is the humbly important? Because when you want the three different sides of your life to work, there's a need for knowledge. There's a need for humility in that you're going to have to seek for knowledge from people. You're going to have to seek for help and support and service from other people. But you must have the grace and humility to receive service graciously and to give love and kindness and fairness and be equitable in doing that, so that you can sustainably retain the support and the help that you require. And that is what makes the difference. Whoever it is that we have married, and all our husbands will not be the same for those who are married. Some we probably we married under different circumstances. So some are working better than others because of the type of people that we married, based on the knowledge we had at the time that we made the choice of who to marry. But now that we are married, we must find out how that marriage works for us, based on who that person is that we're married to. Now, I always say there is no general counsel for marriage, because each home is different. Each pair is different. And you need the specificity of the couple in order to give the best of counsel that can help in every specific situation. And what is important is the guiding principle. And that guiding principle is based on what you desire. What do you want from your own union? What kind of a person is your spouse? What is his own communication tool? How can you effectively reach him with whatever it is that you desire to share and to gain his support? The way you will tell one is different from the way you will tell the other. The way you will gain the support of one is different from the way you will gain the support of the other. You need to work out your own salvation. I use that word a lot because in each scenario, every woman is the only one that knows her husband and knows her own specific situation. And you must seek information to help you make the best decision for that unit to work for you. What is important is don't lose sight of what your goal is. Your goal is that you want your core to work. You want to fulfill the dreams, the inspiration, the aspirations, and the vision of your life. And once you are in a marriage, you can do that most successfully if you have the support of your spouse, or if you're able to carry your spouse along. So that requires effective communication of that vision. And whatever it is that you find that is the effective tool that works in your own situation, that is your business. And that's what you should do. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Don't worry about what they think about what you and your husband do together to make it work for you. It's not their business. You can seek counsel always, but I always say, counsel is not instruction. Counsel is information. Information from the perspective of somebody. When you get that information, apply it to your own situation, which you know better than anybody else, and make the right decision for your own situation, which you know better than the person that has given you information. So the person who has given you information has given it from a view, not necessarily your view. The person does not have a 360-degree view, a holistic view of your situation. You do. So take the information from the multitude of sources, but make the decision and make it in line with your situation and your goal that you have set for yourself.